Alrighty guys, welcome to day 6 of Advent Decode. Getting right into it. Let's get started. The preparations are finally complete. You and the elves leave camp on foot and begin to make your way towards the Star Fruit Grove. As you move through the dense undergrowth, one of the elves gives you a handheld device. He says it has many fancy features, but most importantly, has one set up right now as a communication system. However, because he's heard you have significant experience with dealing with signal-based systems, he's convinced the other elves that it'd be okay to give you one of their malfunctioning devices. Surely no problem fixing it. As if inspired by comedic timing, the device emits a few colorful sparks. To be able to communicate with the elves, the device needs to lock onto their signal. The signal is a series of seemingly random characters that the device receives at one time. For this communication system, you need to add a subroutine to the device that detects the start of the packet marker and the data stream and the protocol being used by the elves. Indicates a sequence of 4 characters that are all different. The device will send you a subroutine of a data stream buffer, your puzzle inputs. Your subroutine needs to be identify the first position where the 4 most recent received characters are all different. Specifically, it needs to report the different number of characters from the beginning of the buffer to the end of the first such 4 character marker. For example, suppose you have received the following. First 3 characters have been received. There haven't been enough characters received yet to find a marker. The first time a marker could be found is occurred with the 4th character. Because Jared's repeated this is a marker. The first time a marker appears after the 7th character. Gotcha. So you just can't have duplicates. Gotcha. Okay. Value 7 because the first start of the packet is at 7. Okay, here's a few more. Alright, so we just need, wow, okay. Good. So we need to go through and find the first place where we have 4 characters with no duplicates. Okay. So, what does this want? It wants how many characters needed to be processed before the first? How many characters need to be processed before the first start of packet markers tech? Oh, is this one line? Oh, it's one line. JK. So this is not too bad. We're just basically going through and basically just chunks of 4 digits. I think the easiest thing is just going to be to substring it. So we're going to do string, and this is going to be our current, I guess. Inputs get 0, substring 0 to 4. So, this is the first one. Okay, so yeah, so there. Actually, we're gonna do string line equals, because I'm gonna get annoyed by having to do this every time. So we're gonna have to do has dupes. We're just gonna call this method. And all it's going to do is it's going to do index plus plus, and then current is going to be equal to index plus 4, and then we'll just call lap on index, and that should be it. Now we just need to make this has dupes method, which isn't, again, too bad. I can actually cheat this somewhat, and I can just do set character chars equals new hash sets, and then for char c and current dot to char array chars add c. And because it's a set, if we ever get a duplicate, it will reject it, and so we can kind of cheat this by simply returning if chars dot size equals does not equal 4. And that should be all we need. It's gonna get a second to build. And that's our input. But I guess that's the length of it. Has deeps. Interesting. Right, because that's the end of it, right? System dot out dot println. I guess I should probably just see. No, it got it to there. Is it a +1 thing? I swear. Don't tell me it's a +1 thing. Because I started at 0 and it's the 7th character. I bet you it is. Its value is 7. So this one's 5, so 1, 2, 3. Oh wait. Oh, it's after character 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's actually this is index 6. So index +4. I need to put this input in. Okay, so it is index +4. Okay. Because it's, yeah, after that. So that's our input. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. So now on part 2. Your device communication system is correctly detecting packets, but still isn't working. Looks like it needs to look for messages. A start of a message marker is just like the start of a packet marker, except it contains 14 distinct characters rather than 4. Here's the first edition's. So it needs to consist of 14 distinct rather than 4. Okay, well, we can do the exact same thing here. Just again, reset it, reset everything. And instead, we can actually pass in 14. We can pass in 4, and this can just take in the expected. And there we go. And this can be 14. This could be 14. And it would be helpful if I did a lap here, +14. And we get that. Hey! It wasn't actually too bad today. Oops, someone I posted that. It wasn't too bad. Yeah, and I think people would agree that this wasn't too bad at all. I was a little slow. If I didn't get that wrong, I feel like it would have been better if I didn't mess this up. So I'm just gonna quickly, while it's here, I'm gonna quickly clean this up a bit. I could probably condense this all into a more consistent, I can condense this into a method. Public int find, what did they call them? They called them, puzzle, what the puzzle call it? The key, it wasn't keys, it was, marker. This will be the length. So I'll pass the input through. We need index in here. And then we can return index plus length. And so now all this becomes is just find marker, give it line, give it 4, and we just do this twice because there's 4 and there's 14, and we should get 1850 and 2823. Oh, because I didn't change these to be length. Might be. Hey, there we go. And that's really it. I think that's about as good as I can get it. Yeah, I mean, simple as there's nothing too unsimple about that. So I guess without further ado, let's explain the problem for today. So today's problem is we are given this nice big long string of various characters, and the goal is to find the marker of a packet. The marker of the packet is the first time we get a string of, for part 1, a string of 4 characters in a row that have no duplicates inside of it. So as you can see here, these first 4 characters are invalid because there are 2 C's. Pick these 4 are invalid because there's 2 J's. I can pick these 4 as invalid 2 F's. Basically, the first part we find a substring that does not have duplicate letters inside of it. To accomplish this, we made this generic method. Again, part 2 is just finding 14 characters in a row as opposed to 4, so that's the only difference. So to accomplish this, we have this nice little find marker method that simply pulls out our inputs and it pulls in our inputs and the length we want to find the marker for. Starts our index at 0, and then it first chops off our current so our initial length of our string for what we're looking for. So for the first one, it pulls off the first 4. For the other one, it pulls off the first 14. That's 25, whatever. And then it goes into this while loop here. And this while loop will keep running and running until we find a substring that does not have any duplicate values. How does it know when it doesn't find any duplicate values? Well, we can do this little trick of using sets. Sets have a unique property of when you put things into it, it cannot contain duplicates. So if we put in characters into here, we should have 4 or 14 characters inside of it. And if we don't, we know we have duplicates because, again, the set can't contain duplicates. If it does, if we try to add a duplicate, it just removes it. It doesn't add it, it just rejects it, basically. So we can use that unique property of sets to determine if our substring has any duplicates or not. So using that logic, we just run a while loop and we keep running it until we get to a point where it doesn't have duplicates. And as long as it does have duplicates, we simply increment our index to the next character, get a new substring, and continue the process on and on again until, again, we get to the point where we find a string for the given length with no duplicate letters inside of it. And that's it. That's all it is. It's nice brute force, but it's elegant brute force because it's all you got, really. So at any rate, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you tomorrow for day 7. Peace out.